Welcome to the Garlic Boys podcast, where we treat friendship like a good recipe treats garlic. You can never have too much of it. I'm your host, Connor O'Connor.
And I'm Benoit Blanc. Sleuthing and solving mysteries.
I am a great detective and like Batman, but that is where the comparison ends.
Listen. I did my own Benoit Blanc Knives Out mystery kind of thing this Christmas. Unfortunately I worked on Christmas because security always has to be 24/7, and that's freaking lovely for me.
Right.
And it always seems to fall on my shift, which is a little weird. Regardless, I did a little sleuthing. So last night, Christmas Eve, I did come home and notice that the little plastic case that held the pickle, that the ornament pickle, not a real pickle.
Right.
My dad hangs it on the tree. He hides it, and then the tradition is the first person to find it, they either get an extra present, or they get to open their gifts first. We always did open our gifts first and stuff. So I noticed in my sleuthing ways that box was empty, and I was like, okay, Dad hid the pickle, and he's thinking nobody's gonna notice.
There is a mystery afoot.
There, Watson. Wow, we're just doing all the. Okay. So anyway, sorry, I got excited, but that's like later in the story. So then tonight after. Oh, backing up a little bit. This morning before work, I wake up at 5 a.m, so nobody's up. I went to the tree and I searched up and down and finally found the pickle. I found the pickle, took it with me to work. And then
to prove that you found it.
Yes. And then when I got home, we watched the new Knives Out mystery, The Glass Onion. Very good movie, by the way. But right now it is irrelevant. Thank you. So after the movie, I was doing a little sleuthing myself, a little questioning, even though I knew where the pickle was, obviously, because I had it. But I was doing a little like, hey, Mom, did you guys hide the pickle this year? Like, I know I wasn't going to be home, so it's kind of pointless, but I didn't know if you still did it just to keep up with tradition. And she's like, oh, no, we didn't. And then I asked my dad, I was like, hey, I was just talking to Mom about the pickle. I was like, did you think about doing it? Because usually forget on the Christmases I'm home, he forgets.
Right.
And he gives me this little like grin, this little smirk. And so I was like, okay, after the movie, I will find the pickle. So the movie ends, and I'm like, all right, it's sleuthing time, because I was all sleuthed up, from Glass Onion.
Yeah.
So I turned on the light, and I did a little like Sean Spencer-esque kind of thing where
you stared at something and tilted your head a little bit.
Squinted my eyes. I grabbed on to my dad's head and held my hand to my head, and did a little magic head situation, where I read his mind, and I was able to find the location of the pickle, and again in my pocket, but they didn't know that. Right. So I did like a little Doctor Strange, like it'll like appear in my pocket, essentially, is what I did. And like I pull that out of my pocket at like the crucial moment when they're on the edges of their seats. And like at first they were both like extremely surprised that I had just pulled it out of my pocket without even touching the tree. But then they kind of gathered exactly what happened. Mom was like, oh, you found it, at one point, blah, blah, blah. And so they were able to figure it out pretty dang quickly. It wasn't a Knives Out mystery, but it was, I felt accomplished,
Impressive. I'm very impressed that you went to the lengths of to be that nerdy for just your parents.
Listen, they're my audience. They're the only people that see this, because I don't see anybody except work friends, and my work friends could give 2 squats.
It'd be a shame if I hadn't started recording yet. You just told
Listen,
that whole story and none of it was on film.
listen, I can tell stories all day long.
Please don't.
I
I
got it.
promise you it's recording. I don't need to hear it again.
So today the
Speaking of The Glass Onion, though, we both watched that today.
yes, yes.
This comes out on New Year's Day, but we are recording it on Christmas Day night.
Yeah.
Christmas night? No.
Christmas night. Yeah, it's the
Okay,
night
yeah, Christmas.
after Christmas Day.
It's so close to being Monday. Let's just say
It's
that. Like
it's
like
11:52 on a Sunday evening, Christmas Day.
we had a good day. We were with our families, except Matt was at work, and then hang out with them afterwards. We both watched Glass Onion.
Hmm.
Let's not spoil it for anybody, but just
Right.
real quick, you need to watch this movie. If
It
you haven't
was
watched Knives
so
Out
good.
already, watch it.
Oh my gosh.
My brother hadn't seen it, so we watched both of them today.
Nice.
Um,
As far as like sleuthing mystery movies go, these are like top notch. Like they have both of them have a perfect balance of comedy and like mystery and
Right.
just like so much. Like this one had a little more comedy, and again, it's not really a spoiler, but this one had a little bit more comedy, but it didn't detract at all from the story. The twists and turns were still very prevalent. It was phenomenal. Oh my gosh, both movies, great movies.
I think it did very like the one thing that Knives Out does great is that it doesn't narrow down someone right away.
Yes,
Like
it points.
it doesn't point directly to like, oh, that's the person. We just have to wait to figure out how they did it.
Right.
We literally sat there and we had so many different theories throughout the entire thing.
Yes.
And then I think it's about halfway you get the big twist of this movie.
Yep.
And I was
Like an hour in.
flabbergasted. I was flabbergasted fully.
Yeah.
Was not expecting it, and then it just made everything more intense and interesting, like a good twist should.
But even then, you still didn't know the whole story.
Right.
Like they revealed some stuff, but there was so much in mystery. The issue I have with like mystery solving murders kind of movies, like the Hercule Poirot ones, the Agatha Christie Murder on the
Yeah.
Orient Express. Murder on the Orient Express was good. I hadn't read the book beforehand, and the movie I was blown away. It was phenomenal. The next one, Death on the Nile, I guessed everything. The second, and I'm not going to do any spoilers in case somebody listening at some point in the future has not seen this movie and doesn't want the whole thing spoiled for them.
Have you learned your lesson not to spoil movies after
One
6 episodes ago?
Shush. One person literally like calls something to attention, and I'm like, okay, that's exactly how they did that. I called the rest of the movie, and it was boring. It was extremely boring for me. I liked the movie as far as actors and cinematography and just about everything, but the mystery itself, I wasn't really surprised. With these ones, though, you never know.
Exactly. And like with a mystery, what you want the mystery to be good. Like I listened to the Psychologist Are In, which is the Psych Rewatch podcast. I think I mentioned it before. And they talk about how Psych was developed and how like the mystery of the episodes was always so thoughtful and like planned out, as well as the jokes. Because like if you didn't have a good mystery going on in the episode, the jokes around it didn't matter.
Right.
Because like deep down it was a crime procedural or like a crime show wrapped in comedy of one of the detectives being a fake psychic.
Right.
And so like with Knives Out, you have Benoit Blanc being a brilliant detective. And so you need to have a good mystery. And what Rian Johnson is doing is like he sets up, these are all your characters. I'm going to give you information here, 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 and here. And like from like 5 minutes in, you see one character react to the opening very different from the rest, and you're like, okay, this just got intense and interesting. And then
Yep.
like when they go back and reveal it later and you see all these tiny clues, you're like, that meant nothing earlier, but it means everything now. And now every time I rewatch it again, I'm gonna notice it and I'm gonna see all the breadcrumbs that were dropped. And it's not like forcing their way in there, being like, man, I could just kill for something cold. You know?
Man, these peanuts, they're really, really, I could die if I ate peanuts. Like,
exactly.
there's nothing that like would automatically point to anything. You know what I mean? Like, they're and with these movies, I've learned you have to listen to every single word every single person says, or else you will miss it. But like, I mean, that's good. That's good. But like for the people who like theorizing and like solving it or trying to solve it before, like that, I mean, that's what these movies are for, is for people to sit there and wonder, okay, but what is that? And what is that relevance and all this stuff? Like to solve the mystery with them. You know what I mean? Like as entertainment. And so like that's what I've learned with these movies. It's to literally like every single thing is put there for a reason.
Yes.
Every single thing. And you and whether it seems insignificant, whether it plays out to really mean much, everything is there for a reason. The directors are literally saying, say this. This is in the script. Say this right now in this moment. And say it like it's. I love these movies. I'm sorry, I'm rambling. I love these movies.
Rian Johnson is really doing a great job, and I think if you haven't given them a shot because Rian Johnson is attached to them and you don't like how he handled The Last Jedi, forget that. He is doing something incredible with these movies, and I really hope they continue. I was excited for this movie for a while, ever since it was announced. And so like I was not disappointed by it. And if you have Netflix or access to it, go watch The Glass Onion. It's a great movie. I cannot recommend it enough.
To be clear, we are not sponsored at all. Although I wish I was.
Not. They could. They should.
I wish we were, but we're not. They're just so good. They're
they're so clever.
And even rewatching these movies, like some like if you play any of those like unsolved mystery cases or something like those, I play all like I play like a lot of
games,
those.
The box game that you get.
Yes, yeah,
I love those. I've done a few of them.
I have so many. I'll probably share some with you, but regardless, those aren't like super replayable because like once you know, but like the movies, you can watch them again and again and again, and still you may not have the like twist feeling because you know what's going to happen, you know who it is, but you pick up on so much, like you were saying, like on rewatch, you pick up on all the
small
little
details.
Yes, that they threw in there for a real purpose, and like going back and rewatching. Oh, I'm sorry. Getting back into it. I need to chill, but this movie, I just loved it so much.
We can't say it enough. The Rian Johnson, he is just a clever boy.
Oh, I hate you.
Speaking of clever boys,
we didn't even ask a question. I already said it. Shoot.
All right. I still think this is probably about the same time in each record that you do tell me you hate me, even though we haven't started the quiz yet.
That's true. We do start the quiz much earlier.
But it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show, the Clever Boy Quiz.
Woo! Clap, 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 clap.
If you can remember from last week, Matt got mad at me because he didn't feel prepared for the quizzes and he didn't know the answers, and that was my fault.
It is.
So what I did this week, or what I did last week, was tell him what the title, the Final Jeopardy clue, if you will, of what today's quiz would be about.
Yeah, and it was Pokemon names.
Yes, and if you remember correctly, we said that if you lost today, that would count as 2 losses because you had an advantage.
Right. And if I get to 10 losses, then something very bad punishment is going to happen.
Yes.
And my heart can only take so much. So be careful with this punishment.
Oh, I know what I'm doing. I already
Oh.
have it in my head.
Oh, lovely, lovely.
But today's game quiz is about Pokemon names. But it's not going to be as simple as me showing you a Pokemon and you telling me what the name is, Matt.
See, but I would have won. I would have won. This would have been the best Christmas Day gift. Oh shoot, it's Monday. It's not Christmas
Yep,
Day
it's
anymore.
Monday. That's why I started now. Today's game is My Mama Said.
My mama said.
What I have here is a list of Pokemon and what Cindy thought they were called.
It's like those I've seen videos like where
Yep.
where he shows like the person will show like their grandmother or their mother Pokemon characters and they say, I think that one looks like Fred. And it's like, why? Why does that one look like Fred?
Exactly. What I have here is a list of 10 Pokemon. I will tell you the Pokemon, and then I will give you 4 choice options.
Do you mind if I pull up a picture of said Pokemon since I can't look up what your mom said?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, just in case I am unfamiliar.
What I will tell you is each option is going to have 3 names, one that she said, 2 I made up, and one of the possibility that she knew that Pokemon.
Okay.
So you just have to tell me which answer you think it is.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Sure.
Pokemon number 1, Onyx.
Onyx. It's the big old rock snake, okay?
Oh, actually, let me preface this as well. They're all Gen 1 Pokemon, so you probably won't have to I did this by generation
anything. Okay.
so that we can play this game 9 times.
I don't like this.
So these are all Gen 1 Pokemon. Your first one is Onyx.
Onyx. Okay, and what are the options here?
Your options are Snock, Bulbola, Bulbobra, or Worth.
Or Worth?
Worth. Snock, Bulborba, or Worth. The second one, the way it is spelled is Boulobra. So it's like Boulder and Cobra smushed together.
Right. So I'm sorry, you only gave me 3 options here?
The 4th option is she knew what it was called.
She knew what it was called. Okay.
That's always going to be the 4th option.
Okay. So the first one was Snock.
Yes.
The second one was Boulder and Cobra, Bolobra, I'm assuming.
Yep.
And the third one, remind me one more time.
Worth. Spelled like
kind
Earth.
of like kind of like worm and earth.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Because I don't know if your mom knows like Pokemon names and how sometimes they are very clever.
Mm-hmm.
In that way where Worth is kind of clever and Bolobra is also kind of clever. I don't know what Snock is. You know what? I'm going to go a little off the wall. I'm going to say that you came up with the middle two and Snock was her answer.
Final answer?
I guess. This quiz already sucks.
That's a shame you feel that way because you are correct.
Sweet.
When I showed her a picture, my mom thought that Onyx's name was Snock, which is snake and rock put together.
Right. So she is familiar at least a little bit with Pokemon nomenclature. All right.
I think, but who knows? Alrighty, you ready for Pokemon number 2?
Oh boy, yeah.
Arbok.
Okay, another snake. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Did she think it was Snock?
I swear.
With 4 S's. Chaudra.
Chaudra.
Yes.
Okay.
Or Pythite.
Pythite.
Yes. Or did she think it was named? She knew it was named Arbok.
I don't know how much. I don't know your mom's extensive knowledge on Pokemon.
Knock.
It's not that one. There's no way. No.
Chaudra.
Okay.
Or Pythite. Come on. You got to think out loud. This is an audio podcast.
You're right. You're right. I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. So Snock. I really hope she wouldn't do that because rock. Because that was specifically snake and rock.
Oh, it's an A. It's not an O. It's an A.
It's snack. Sorry, snack. I mean, Arbok.
Unless she pronounced it a different way, Matt. That's what you got to think about here.
Right. So, okay, I don't like that one. It's clever, but I think it's a little too clever.
Mm-hmm.
The second one was. Can you remind me that one again?
Chaudra.
Chaudra.
Mm-hmm.
Can you spell it?
Chadra.
So it's kind of giving me like either the RA being Cobra or kind of maybe even Drake vibes, which I don't know. Chaudra. What's the Shaw? Shaw, dude. No, I don't like that one either. The third one was one more time.
Pythite.
It's not really a python, though. I don't know what your mom knows about snakes. I'm going to go with another kind of off the wall one. And no. You know what?
I do want to remind you there's the option that she did know it was called Arbok.
That's the off the wall I was going to do. But I'm going to say no to that. Okay. Especially since you reminded me. I'm going to go with, because it's another snake, I'm going to go with the one I don't think it is and go with Snock, as in snack.
Final answer?
It's sure. It's either a trick by you because you, again, every quiz comes down to the cup in front of you, the cup in front of me thing, where there's poison in both cups. You know what I mean? So I just have to go with one and stick with it, because if I keep changing my answers, then I'm going to miss the answer that it actually was. So yes, final answer.
Matt, that is incorrect.
I figured.
The correct answer was Chaudra.
Chaudra? Why? Did she give you?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think she pronounced it Chaudra, like kind of like Chandra, and that gave her that vibe. I don't know.
Okay. I mean, if that's what she thinks, then that's what she thinks.
It happened.
Yep.
Alrighty. Number 3, Matt. Muck.
All right. What are the guesses, I guess?
The guesses are Sluggard, Splugard, or Gummy Goo. Or did she know that it was called Muck?
It's
Sluggard, Splugard, or Gummy Goo.
Gummy Goo is so good. Like, how is that not already a Pokemon name? If that was your mom, and I kind of hope it was, then man, she needs to start working at Pokemon.
Or maybe I need to.
Yeah, you too.
If it's that good of it, it's only a good name if she came up with it, Matt. That's rude.
Right. But I'm just, I don't know your mom's knowledge of Pokemon. Like, I have no way of knowing in a million years what which Pokemon she knows. Because I think it's so good, and because I'm probably not going to win anyway. Yes, I've lost faith in myself.
Okay.
I'm gonna go with gummy goo because that's actually pretty good. If it wasn't your mom, then good job, Connor.
Is that your final answer?
Final answer, yeah.
Well, I'm going to thank you for the compliment, Matt, because that was my name. My mom thought Muck's name was Sluggard.
Sluggard. Okay, I kind of thought that one, but you had two very similar ones, and I wasn't. But
Yeah,
that would have been a good giveaway, actually. Too late now.
I'm really good at this, Matt.
I know. That's why I hate you.
Number 4, Mr. Mime.
Oh boy. Ugh.
Did she think it was called that one evil clown thing, from that book?
Okay.
Twibbly
Twibbly?
or Bubbarama? Or did she know it was called Mr. Mime?
No.
The names again are that one evil clown thing, from that book, Twibbly, Bubbarama, or did she know it was called Mr. Mime?
Okay. I'm gonna go with your mom probably knows the It monster, the It clown. She probably knows what it's called. So if that's the one she's referring to, or if that's the one that answer is referring to, I think she would know it. So I don't think she would say that one evil clown, from that one book. So I'm gonna cross that one out. I don't think she knows Mr. Mime because he's a bit more of like a rarer one ish. Doesn't really show up in the show. So even if you were watching it, there's maybe like 2 episodes that are involved with Mr. Mime, at least in like the first season.
His mom owns a Mr. Mime.
Right. And it's, lots of theories around that one, but I'm not going to delve into that today. Can you give me the second 2 answers?
Twibbly.
So good. Okay.
And Bubbarama.
I'm really liking the Bubbarama. That's the one I instantly was leading to. So let's go with Bubbarama.
Bubbarama, final answer?
Yeah.
Matt, that is correct.
Sweet. All right.
She called him Bubbarama.
Your mom is really good at this. Like, these are decent. Like, I'm not joking. Some of these are really decent, like secondary names or like possibilities of these Pokemon.
Oh, just wait.
It gets better.
Number 5 is Psyduck.
Oh, I love Psyduck. Okay.
Did she call Psyduck Terry the Platypus, Goldie Duck, Bilford, or did she know it was called Psyduck?
You know what?
Did she call him Terry the Platypus, Goldie Duck, Bilford, or did she know it was Psyduck?
Oh man, they haven't done like a legit platypus Pokemon, and that actually disappoints me because it would be number 1 on my team for sure.
The platypus is already a Pokemon. Like, it's a real life Pokemon.
Oh, right. I
It's
thought you
half
meant like
beaver, half duck. It has poison spikes on its feet, and it glows in the dark. It also lays eggs and sweats milk, and it's also a mammal.
Right. No, like it's 100% a awesome real life Pokemon.
Right.
So okay, I'm gonna cross that one out. Terry the Platypus is it's so good. But I'm gonna say no. You know what? I'm gonna go a little off the wall just because Psyduck is pretty well known. I don't know if your mom knows literally any of these. She would probably know like Pikachu. I'm gonna say I feel like it's a bad. Okay, I've already lost at this point. I'm gonna say she knew this.
You have not already lost at this point.
I know. Yeah, but I can see the future. She knew Psyduck's name. It was Psyduck.
Final answer?
Sure.
Matt, that was incorrect. She did not realize it was a duck at first. She thought it was a platypus.
So Terry the Platypus?
And she said, Terry the Platypus, from that one TV show. What was he called?
A platypus? Terry the Platypus!
Then I pointed out his name was the Psyduck, and she goes, oh, that is a bill.
He's also bright yellow.
And
sure.
Why isn't he Golduck?
Yeah, I always wondered that too. Why is Golduck blue? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me.
Makes you think.
He should be Golduck, like 100%.
Already.
It might have had to do with sprites, actually.
Probably.
All right, sorry. Continue.
Number 6, Ditto.
Oh, Ditto. Oh, cute little guy. Okay.
Did she call him Sluggard 2, Gumbler, or Bubble Blob? Or did she know he was named Ditto?
Again.
Did she call him Sluggard 2, Gumbler, Bubble Blob, or did she know he was Ditto?
Dude, you had to come up. Not only did your mom have to come up with one, and might I say, pretty on point Pokemon names, you also came up with 2 very good Pokemon names. I'm pretty sure people
or 3.
2. Oh, if she knew the name of it, I guess. Yeah. So pretty good job to the both of you. I applaud both of you. I'm gonna go with the second one you said, the gum something or other.
The Gumbler?
Gumbler. Yeah, that's a good one.
Final answer?
Final answer.
Well, Matt, that is incorrect.
Yeah, that's fine.
His name is Bubble Blob to my mom.
Oh, always get C when you're unsure.
And there was contention on what she said because I didn't really understand her. And she goes, well, I said Bubble Rama for the other one, so I'm going to do Bubble Blob this time. And I went, okay, Bubble Blob. And she goes, no, Bubble. I was like, okay, it's not bubbly, but all right.
He kind of looks like chewed up bubble gum, so exactly. I guess it kind of makes sense.
She goes, like, no, like Bubblicious. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah.
See,
yeah, I got you.
I'm trying to figure out, like, your mom associating similar looking Pokemon. Like, a lot of the Pokemon do have similar names. So would your mom be like, hey, those ones look very similar? They might, I don't know if she knows even about evolution, but those ones look very similar. So they're probably named similar things. So, but there's also a very fine line of that where you also know that. And so you're going to say that, like, one of the answers is inevitably going to be a similar answer to before, and sometimes they'll be correct and sometimes they won't be, and that is why, Connor, I hate you.
Me. Well, that's why I put Sluggard 2 there,
right,
because it kind of looks a little bit like Muck. So she was like, oh, that is Sluggard 2, but like the number, and I thought that might trip you up, but
this ain't a Porygon situation. All right,
it's the only Pokemon with a number in its name. Number 7, Snorlax.
All right, what are the clues?
Giant-a-bear, Fluffy, Connor, or Snorlax?
I'm going Connor just because it's funny.
Final answer?
Final answer.
That is correct. I showed my mother the Pokemon. She immediately burst out laughing and said, "Ha, that's you. Its name is Connor." You want to know what's so upsetting about that?
What? You I know what you're doing.
I was gifted this yesterday. This was one of my Christmas presents.
Oh man. For those listeners at home, Connor got a Snorlax, essentially one of those Squishmallows, but Snorlax shaped.
It wasn't from my mom, it was from Courtney, but still.
It's but that makes it even better.
I know Courtney got it because she saw that and went, that Pokemon looks like Connor. Because I'm fat, I lay it down a lot and I barely open my eyes.
Oh, but
Number
hold on. But there's good things about Snorlax.
Yeah, he blocks a path. You have to play music to wake him up.
That's what I'm saying. That's good stuff. You're immovable, Connor. You're immovable.
How is that a good thing?
What do you mean? How is that a good thing? If
Being
you want to stop somebody,
immovable gets you a reality TV show on TLC nowadays, Matt.
No.
Yes,
you can move yourself quite like Snorlax does, but nobody can move you. You're an unstoppable force, Connor. You're like the Juggernaut. Anyway, the other thing is that Snorlax can use Hyper Beam. So,
yeah, from his eyes.
Yeah, you're basically Superman and the Juggernaut.
Number 8, Magmar.
Oh, okay. Magmar. I hate Magmar, but hopefully she names it something stupid.
Did she name it Ducko Fire?
Ducko.
Flame Foul?
That's good.
Or Bilford?
Again with the Bilford.
Or did she know it was called Magmar?
That's the second time you used Bilford. So
Ducko Fire, Flame Foul, Bilford, or Magmar?
Those are all decent. A little tricky. I feel like Bilford is gonna bite me in the butt at some point. Let's go with Ducko Fire.
Final answer?
Kind of clever. He does kind of look like a duck. Yeah, final answer.
Matt, that is correct.
Woo! All right.
Now you are tied with 4 right and 4 wrong.
Oh, sweet.
You get these last 2 correct, you win.
I just have to get 1. Oh, yeah, you're right. 2 correct. Yeah, I have to majority.
Yeah.
Oh, the pressure is now on, and I'm gonna lose.
Number 9.
Yep.
Mewtwo.
Okay. All right.
Did she name him Big Cat Man?
Big Cat.
Mewman? Knuckler? Or did she know it was named Mewtwo? Did she name it Big Cat Man? Mewman? Knuckler? Or did she know it was Mewtwo? Again,
So yeah. I'm.
You think out loud, please.
I'm trying. The Mewman sounds a bit too much,
right?
Like the name for her to guess that, I guess. So I'm gonna guess that was one of your answers. Hopefully. It's also possible like you watched the original Mewtwo movie, and like she remembers some part of that. I'm gonna count that out. What was the third one again?
Knuckler.
I don't really get that one. I don't get that one at all. Okay, I'm gonna count that one out too. It's probably right, but it's fine. The first one, I like the first one. I can't remember what it was, but I remember liking the first one.
Big Cat Man.
Big Cat Man. Sure.
Final answer?
Yeah.
Matt, that is incorrect.
Ah, dang.
She knew his name was Mewtwo.
Really? All right.
We owned the first Pokemon movie on VHS as a kid and watched it constantly.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
I also own a Mewtwo Funko Pop. I don't know if she knows that, but I just want to point that out.
Just want to be cool for once. It's fine.
I am better than all of you.
I spent a whole bunch of money on a like an original Mewtwo trading card, which I'm pretty proud of. It's pretty dope. Not gonna lie.
Nice. All right, Matt. Last question, and because it is relatively close to actually being Christmas, I do have a tiebreaker for you.
Oh, sick. I had to get this one right, though, to get the tiebreaker.
Exactly. So your last one is Alakazam.
Alakazam, spoony guy. All right.
Did she call him Lupin, Duo Spoon, or Twibbly?
Lupin, Duo Spoon, or Twibbly?
Or she knew his name was Alakazam.
Gosh, again, your mother's knowledge of Pokemon eludes me. I'm gonna have to like start talking to her. Maybe we should you know what we could do? Sorry, little sidetrack while I'm stalling for time. We should have a podcast, like a separate podcast, or even maybe like a Patreon exclusive to this one, where we play Pokemon with our moms or like watch them play Pokemon.
Like they have to play through Scarlet and Violet?
Yes, absolutely.
That would be fun.
That would be awesome.
Come on, Cindy. It's a fire type. What's the advantage here?
Hey, now we don't have to press her too hard on the type advantage, because I still use a picture on my phone having a whole chart of type advantages.
So do I. I just learned that fighting is useful against Fairy when I tried to go against the fighting type team star leader with my Tinkaton, and I kept losing.
Yeah. I know the basics. You know, fire. Right, no, obviously not good against water.
Fairy is effective against fighting. Fighting is effective against steel. That's why I kept losing.
Oh yeah. I gotcha. But regardless, I know some of the basics, like elemental.
Hold on. You're stalling. Let's get back to the quiz. Let's get back to you losing this quiz.
Okay.
You bamboozled me, boy.
It worked, didn't it?
I'm gonna jog your memory. We're looking for what she thought Alakazam was called. Of Lupin, Duo Spoon, and Twibbly.
Gosh, I don't know. Let's go Lupin, because why the heck not?
Final answer?
Yeah, sure.
Matt, that is correct.
What?
And her reasoning for calling it Lupin was because it looked like the werewolf from Harry Potter.
Looked like the what? Cindy,
she knows what the werewolf from Harry Potter looks like.
And his name, apparently.
But not this Pokemon.
Oh, boy. All right. Now it's time to be this close and then lose it in the tiebreaker. Kind of like the freaking Lady Gaga Oreo.
This is much simpler than the Lady Gaga Oreo.
We'll see.
This is barely a test of your Pokemon knowledge and more of a test of your knowledge about me.
Oh, boy. Okay.
Matt, what is my favorite Pokemon?
Favorite Pokemon, yeah. How did I know it was going to be that? Oh, wait, I know this. I actually know this.
Do you?
Yes. Okay. Does it count if I get it in the evolution line, or do I have to get the specific Pokemon?
It's a specific Pokemon. That's why I asked what my favorite Pokemon is, not favorite evolutionary line.
All right. It is. I have to get the right one.
Little ASMR while he's thinking for you guys.
Yeah. Do you permit me to look it up so I can confirm that it's the right one? Or do I just have to?
Sure. Why not?
Sure. Okay. All right.
Dr. Pepper really is best when it's from a can. Let me tell you what.
I disagree wholeheartedly.
Are you a bottle guy?
I'm 100% a bottle guy. Glass bottle is preferred, but you don't find Dr. Pepper in a
It's
glass
so hard to
bottle.
find Dr. Pepper in a glass bottle. I'll drink Coke out of a glass bottle because it's the only Coke that doesn't hurt my teeth.
Yeah. Coke hurts your. We're getting off track. I know your favorite Pokemon. It is Dragapult.
Final answer.
Unless it changed with the new Pokemon, yeah, I'm gonna stick with Dragapult.
Matt, that is my second favorite Pokemon.
Ah, you got a new one in this new.
I didn't. My favorite Pokemon is Torterra.
Really? Oh.
It's also my favorite starter.
Yeah.
My favorite Sinnoh Pokemon.
Okay, if we're getting on semantics, Torterra is not a starter. He's a third evolution to the starter, which is Turtwig. Sir.
Turtwig is my favorite starter. Okay.
Well, that's a bit of a stretch. Turtwig's
You're a bit of a stretch. Listen.
Okay, since I know I lost, can you name my favorite Pokemon?
It's probably some stupid spider Pokemon.
Ouch.
Sorry, that was way too aggro for no reason. Let's see. Your favorite Pokemon.
Think out loud, Connor.
I am thinking out loud. Your favorite Pokemon.
That's not thinking. That's
is probably a newer generation Pokemon. Because I know you skipped 5, 6, and 7.
Yeah.
Unless those Pokemon came up in one of the newer games, like Sword and Shield and Scarlet and Violet. Don't know those ones as well. So it's either 1 through 4 or 8 and 9. As a kid, I think you said that your first Pokemon game was in the Sinnoh region, but it could have been Gen 3, so it's any of the Hoenn games or Fire, Lead, and Leaf Green. So I'm going to narrow out second gen because those Pokemon are kind of lame, actually. Then first generation Pokemon are also lame. To be honest, I don't get like the Gen 1 nostalgia. It was better back then. It wasn't. Those games are terrible. So that leaves 3, 4, 8, and 9. 3, 4, 8, and 9. Garchomp, final answer.
Garchomp. Is that the final answer? I hate to break it to you, but you're not a clever boy either, so sorry, I can't do the actual one. No, so it's kind of funny that you say you said all of that, especially about Gen 1. Charizard is actually my favorite Pokemon.
Oh, I should have guessed. You're such a boring basic white boy.
Stop it. It has a lot of nostalgic reasons.
It should have been a dragon. Why wasn't it a dragon? It looks like
a dragon.
Why
about any of that. I don't care about any of that. It was just one of the first Pokemon that I actually like fell in love with, and like the Charizard episodes, when he first evolves, when he evolves his Charmander very quickly, and the Charizard doesn't listen to him. I thought that was the funniest thing when I was a kid. I had a dark, like ultra rare. It was like a dark Charizard card. All right. I put it through the washing machine, and to this day, I wish I could go back in time and slap my young self's face so hard. But I also had undiagnosed ADHD, so that kind of makes sense. No, it's just I've always liked Charizard. I'm a big dragon person, as we've discussed in previous episodes. And dragon type's like my favorite type. I know he's not a dragon type. I know, but he looks like a dragon. And when I was a kid, I was obsessed with dragons. So which Pokemon do you think I gravitated to?
Dragonite.
Dragonite's pretty cool too, but I think he looks stupid. I think he's cool, but I think he looks, and again, I know it's a cartoon. I think he looks too cartoony. Like the really big, like he looks like Yoshi, but
He looks like
orange
Puff
and
the
with,
Magic Dragon,
right. So
especially in his shiny.
yes, exactly. So Dragonite's cool. I have respect for Dragonite. Not my favorite Pokemon. I've always been super partial to Charizard.
Understandable, I guess. You want to be that guy?
Listen, Torterra. Torterra's cool, but like
He has an
is it
entire
really?
ecosystem on his back, Matthew.
Okay.
It's an allusion to the idea of the world turtle, where there's a turtle in space that has the entire Earth on its back.
Yes. Yes, I know. I know all of that. But in that same generation, you had, I think it's the same generation. You had a fire monkey.
Yeah,
And that fire monkey's awesome.
the fire types have never been my favorite.
Really? Okay, that's fair.
Couldn't get with them.
It's grass types that for me I have never picked. I don't think in any game I've ever picked a grass type.
I typically pick grass types. The only time that I really picked differently was if I've never actually played a Gen 2 game, but if I did, I would pick the water type in Gen 2.
Mm-hmm.
And then in Gen 5, I picked Oshawott because Samurott was the coolest out of all of them.
I guess.
It just, Emboar, it sucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just didn't look cool. And then Snivy didn't make any sense to me.
Oh, see, I really liked Snivy. The whole, I didn't love all of its stuff, everything, but I think Snivy looked the coolest.
I didn't like the fact that it evolved to lose its arms and legs.
Yeah,
to me, like, that doesn't make sense.
How
does that make it better? How does that make it better?
I don't know. I don't know.
But Dragapult is a close second, but he's not my favorite Pokemon. So that means, Matt, that you lose this week's quiz.
That's two losses.
2 losses. So that means that you're at a total of 7 losses. So if you lose 3 more times, you have to face the clever punishment.
Yeah. Oh boy. Can I have a hint as to what the clever punishment's gonna be so I can prepare myself at least for that?
You hate it.
I hate you. So is it just you?
Yep.
Like,
I come over and I hang out with you for an entire day.
Oh no, please. Don't do that.
No, that would be horrible. All right, Matt. For this week's topic, I wanted to talk about the new year. As today, when this episode is going live for everyone, it is January 1st, 2023.
Oh boy. Yeah.
Yeah. It feels crazy to think about that. But it's finally time to start a new year.
I feel like time sometimes it feels like it goes too fast. Honestly, last couple of years have like flown by, and like not in a good way either. Like most of the time I want time to fly by, like when I'm at work for 12 hours. I feel like this year has just disappeared.
December went so quickly.
Yeah, agreed.
But I wanted to talk about like kind of what we want out of the next year and like sort of that idea of things. My big thing, and what I've done the last 2 years actually, is I've been keeping a tally of movies that I watch.
Okay.
And like each year I want to do more and more because I want to keep watching movies and experiencing them, even if I've seen them before. So I started this back in 2021, and that year I watched 66 unique movies. There were a few that I watched twice. Of course, the Marvel movies, Bo Burnham's Inside, and Encanto. No, that wasn't out yet. I only watched Encanto once. that year. I watched it earlier this year many times. But then this year, I've watched 107 unique movies.
Goodness.
So that's what 41 more. And for us, you're hearing this on January 1st, but there's still 6 more days left of the year for us. So who knows how many more I'll get. But I for one, I want to keep like doing that and get more movies because I love movies. I think movies are great. And I want to be able to expand past a lot of the movies that I watch are just comedies. But I kind of want to expand past that and feel comfortable like watching an action movie and not getting bored, or like doing something a little more drama oriented, but still having those entertaining movies in there. Like one movie that I watched this year was oh, it's
Who's in it? Is there anybody you recognize in it?
Jason Bateman,
Uh-huh.
Tina Fey.
Okay, yeah, no idea.
Adam Driver, the bald guy from Ant-Man.
The bald guy from Lawrence Fishburne?
No, that's from Ant-Man and the Wasp.
Okay.
The bald guy, he was the bad guy.
Oh, the bad guy. Oh yeah, I don't know his name, but I know who you're talking about.
Come on, where is it? It's on this list. Hold on. I'm gonna find it.
I'm sure you will.
I'm gonna find it.
You know, there's actually a site that they created where you can look up specific actors and see the filmography that they've been in. Sometimes even you can look up where they produced things or directed things. You probably could use that site. It's a little less known. It is called the Internet Movie Database. .com. But you probably want to go with imdb.com.
Okay.
They also have an app, pretty recent release there, the app,
Right.
that makes it a lot easier for users to like search for
For
movies.
sure. That's what most people say.
Or most people. Is this like big in your circle? Because I'm pretty sure this is a fresh, like hot off the presses kind of thing.
We'll see. I don't know. I'm looking here. Just trying to find it.
Go on IMDb.
Okay. This is where I leave you.
You cut out, at least on my end, the entire time you said that.
This is where I leave you.
This is where okay. Sounds like a romantic comedy.
It is not. It's about this family and the dad dies.
Oh, ouch. Okay.
And so they were Jewish, so they go home to sit Shiva, which is I think 4 days of sort of like a respectful family gathering where they cover all the mirrors, and they just sit. Sorry, I'm just gonna look it up so that I get the right answer. I want to be sort of respectful. It is an observance. There's a requirement of the parents, siblings, spouses, and children of the person who has died. They at the funeral, mourners wear an outer garment that is torn before the procession. During the period of Shiva, mourners remain at home. Family and friends visit those mourning in order to give their condolences and provide comfort. The process is dated back to biblical time, formalizing the natural way an individual confronts grief. Shiva also allows the individual to express sorrow, discuss the loss of a loved one, and slowly re-enter society. So it's just like a short period where they sort of just grieve together. And it just is sort of forces the siblings to come back together as a family.
Oh yeah, that's kind of interesting. Kind of in a really weird way, it does kind of remind me of The Patient, I believe it was called, with Steve Carell. It's the TV series that's very recent. except for in that one, Steve Carell gets kidnapped, and that brings his family together. So yeah, not as well, I guess it's still kind of sad. But there's no killing in that one, I don't think, except for the initial death. Is there like a serial killer running around in that movie?
No, the dad dies off screen.
Okay, all right, yeah. So, I don't do any. I don't do anything. I will say
we're here to discuss what we want to do.
Right. You've been doing this for years. I've never stuck with anything for more than like a day. So I think two things that I would like to do. One, save more money, but board games are calling my name. So it's very difficult. The second thing is read more books. I feel like I have so many books that I just keep buying books. And I think it's again, I think it's a symptom. But I'm trying to lessen the money spending and just enjoy what I have. I guess that's a good way to put it, because board games and Funko Pops and books, I can enjoy all the stuff that I have. I have more than enough, more than one person actually needs. I want more, but I think enjoying what I have. Same with video games too. Oh my gosh, I'm a mess. Yeah.
Well, let's talk about what was your favorite book you read this year?
My favorite book I read this year. I
Sort
read like 2.
Looking back and seeing if that, like, if you look back and appreciate what you read, maybe that'll lead you to start wanting to read more books and appreciate them.
Right. I read one of the Enola Holmes books. It was very good. I read it mostly because my girlfriend and I went on a date, and we went and picked books out for each other.
Oh.
So I picked her an Agatha Christie mystery novel, and she picked me out actually The Murder on the Orient Express, and she picked me out Enola Holmes. Kind of funny that it was both mystery novels, but I think that was the only one I actually finished. I have so many. Yeah, I just keep buying more, and I need to stop buying more. I did. I guess I listened to it, but it's still kind of reading. The Red Rising series. I listened to the first 3 books and then a half of the next one, maybe not even a half.
What is the Red Rising series?
Oh, it's so good. So basically it's one of those like post-apocalyptic genres and it's very similar to like the Hunger Games type thing in a way, where there's like a class system based on color, not color of your skin, but they each get a color. There's the golds at the very top. They're the ones who like forged the path, at least the ones that wrote the history books. And then there's the reds, like all the way at the bottom, that are like the workers, the miners, and the stuff like that.
Right.
So basically it's about the red class rising up. In the book, I don't want to give too many spoilers. It's a very good book series. In the book, one of the Reds, the main character, actually gets some sort of like surgery, essentially plastic surgery, that turns him into a gold. And he infiltrates the golds and dismantles their society from the inside, essentially. Holy moly, is it such a good book series. Like, it is one of the best book series I've read. And they made the first 3, and then he also wrote the 4th and 5th, but they're very different. Like, they're a continuation of the story. they're very different. It's a different tonally. There's actually 3 main characters that they bounce back and forth, kind of like in the Kane Chronicles. And I didn't love it. It was hard to read, listen to. So I'm still struggling through the 4th one, but the first 3 were just utter perfection. They were so good.
Nice.
Yeah.
So I guess both of ours have to do with indulging in media, but mine is to watch more movies, and yours is to read more books, which I think both of those truly play into our personalities very well.
Yeah. I used to read so much.
I want to read more.
Yeah.
But as we've mentioned many times on here, I have dyslexia, and so reading takes time.
Yeah.
And it also, I get frustrated easily with it because I have to reread something a few times to fully understand it. Or if I I'm reading ahead and I feel like, oh, I missed something, like they mentioned something and I'm like, I don't remember them saying that at all. I go back and reread. And so like there's people that out there that could read an entire book in a day. And I'm lucky if I get to like 2 or 3 chapters in a day. It's just, it's hard for me to consume books.
I hear you.
So that's why like I've never tried audiobooks, but like I'll listen to podcasts or watch movies because those are easier for me to sort of get behind.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that makes sense.
But if you guys are looking for a something new to do or something to indulge in more, I suggest you indulge more into the Garlic Boys. The ways you can do that are by following us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. You can support us on Patreon. Again, next month, look out for our Sorcerer's Apprentice discussion episode. That'll be an exclusive on Patreon. And if who knows, if we get 10 supporters on Patreon, maybe we'll start doing monthly Garlic Moms episodes on there for you guys to enjoy. So if you want more content with our moms, you know where to find us at Garlic Boys on Patreon. And finally, if you want to watch us on video, if you want to see our beautiful faces as you hear Matt's beautiful voice, you can find us on YouTube at the Garlic Boys and watch full video length episodes and experience it visually as well as auditorily.
Get the full spiritual experience.
Exactly. Really. Figure out which one of us is Matt and which one of us is Connor. Who knows? Maybe watch the video on mute while also listening to the podcast. There's multiple ways to enjoy this.
I think if I'm being 100% honest, I think most of our listeners have seen our little reels, whether TikTok or Instagram. I think a lot of them are coming from there, so they probably already know.
Probably, but hey, you never know.
I do have one final thought before we go.
I was going to throw it to you real quick.
Yeah, I don't want this to turn into an argument right at the end of our the end of our session, but I'd like to point out something from a earlier episode that you were very incorrect on.
Okay.
Okay, so Dr. Seuss. So his middle name is Seuss.
It's Seuss.
Yeah, it is Seuss.
You made the point to correct that it's pronounced Seuss.
I understand.
So if you're gonna sit here and correct
however,
wrong, you have to listen to your own correction. Your argument is invalid.
No,
thank you so much for listening.
No, I'm not shutting up. The reason I was using that was because you would easily recall what we were talking about. The listeners would easily recall what we were talking about.
No, go ahead.
It is Seuss, and I was going to use that from that point forward. But his middle name is legitimately Seuss.
Okay.
Which is why, as you pointed out, you said he was a fictional character. It was a fictional name. It was a pen name that he used.
It is a pen name.
It is. However, it's pronounced Sois. And him saying in a poem that it's pronounced Sois is completely valid. And that is how it's pronounced, whether it's his pen name or his actual name. Thank you.
I'd like to point out that what you're correcting is that you said that Dr. Seuss is not his real name. And so then I said, yes, because his name is not Dr. Seuss. Seuss is not his real name. And by that, I meant it's not his real last name. Seuss may be in his name, but his name is not Dr. Seuss or Seuss, if that's how you want to pronounce it. So I'm still technically correct in what I was correcting. And it was a joke based on you were like, oh, it's not pronounced Seuss because you like being pedantic. So if you want to be pedantic, I will break down exactly what I said. I am still right.
All that I said was, fun fact, his name is actually pronounced Sois. Okay, this did devolve into an argument. I'm sorry, listeners.
That'll be our February Patreon exclusive, is when we break down Dr. Seuss.
Make sure to turn into the Dr. Sois podcast, February Patreon.
If you want more of that, you know what to do.
If you want to hear us fight and argue, tune into the Patreon exclusives, because that's what it will be every single time.
If you do not think that we cannot argue for a full hour, you're wrong.
Oh, absolutely. The Sorcerer's Apprentice, we're literally doing that episode so you guys hear us argue and debate over whether the movie is good or not.
I fully do not plan on editing that one at all.
It's going to be like 3 hours long.
Yeah. And they'll stick with it because they know, just like we do, that it's always better to stay garlicky.
That was the weirdest ending we've ever done.
You weren't prepared, and that's why it was great.
I'm never prepared.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.